Hey guys, whoever's talking, I am gonna mute you. Please, if you don't mind, please go on push to talk to, because there is a lot of background noise. Oh wait, I just muted him personally, but not server mute. Okay, I'm gonna server mute UKMR. Sorry. You can always unserver mute you guys later in the future. Just please don't be mic spamming in here, because it's distracting for everybody else. So okay, let's dive right into it. I'm just gonna start with 4-hour structure like we normally do. This time we have a lot of price action to work with, so you can kind of start with structure and mark out like some of our potential order blocks that we can play. And yeah, Sam and Aaron, if you guys want to chime in at all on like any of the structure stuff. Obviously Sam's the expert at structure, we know that. Welcome to do so. So let's mark these out. If you guys do have questions, feel free to obviously unmute yourself. You can ask it. I don't have a chat or anything in here, so it's not like I can really read your questions. But maybe we'll open up for questions in about 10 minutes. Does that sound good? Just want to get the flow of things started and mark up the charts and actually start taking trades, and then we can open up to some questions. And same for if you guys want me to take
I have a question. Have you allowed the stream for everybody?
Rob, how come I can't see out?
Are you guys not able to see the stream?
It says sorry, the
No.
stream has max number of viewers.
I can't see the screen.
So I see there's
only
50
99 people that are allowed.
Yeah, I see there's 50 people watching the screen. I'm not sure how many people we have in the Discord here, but I think, yeah, it might be because we're limited then.
But we are not able to see that, bro.
There's a limitation to like how many people can view the live stream. It's just Discord.
Yeah, I think it might be a Discord thing. So
Rob, the screen on this side is quite blurry.
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit blurry because it's only 1080p. So we're just gonna do it for
It
this
ain't
one.
blurry.
So
It's just not allowing it.
it's not allowed. Yeah, I understand. For some of you, you're not gonna be able to see it this time, unfortunately, because of the limitation of Discord. Again, we are recording the calls, so worst case, you guys can always watch it afterward. But what we'll probably do in the future is we're probably going to run the webinars through Kajabi or something. We're not going to be running it through Zoom necessarily anymore. So I apologize to those of you who can't see it, but for the 50 of you that are on here watching now, I mean, I guess I'll run it for you guys live. And again, it is going to be recorded, so you guys will be able to watch this in the future too.
So you guys are going to upload it on where?
We'll upload it inside of the course when it's complete.
All right, no problem.
So yeah, sorry if you can't see it now. I mean, you can stick around, but yeah,
well,
if you can't see it, it's not
put a
much
link,
of a...
put a link to it, Rob, then that'll be handy because I'll watch it tomorrow then.
Yeah, I'll post the link up within the next couple days. Sound good?
Right.
Apologize to those of you who can't see it. It sucks. I didn't realize there was a limitation there. I guess there is. It's 50 people, I think, that can watch it at once. So sorry to everybody else.
Is there a way that we can sort this in future?
That you can what? Sorry.
Is there a way that we can sort this in future so we can all see it?
I'm trying to think if there is another way. Maybe if
maybe we can try like resharing the screen, like whoever's watching. Yeah,
that's fine. Let's try that really quick. The other alternative is Sam or Aaron. Maybe if you guys want to share your screen too, and then we can kind of distribute it. You can share my screen through your screen or something. I don't know if that might work.
You would have additional 99.
Alright, okay. So I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna restart it. Let's see if that works. Let's see.
Rob.
Hey, what's up?
I won't be able to reshare. My PC isn't powerful enough.
How about Sam? Sam, can you reshare? Or even anybody that's in here, if you don't mind resharing, just for this session, because you're able to see
where am I looking here to get on this screen now?
Your Dr. Hurt looks like he's gonna stream my stream too. Actually, yeah, you know what? That'll actually work.
Right, sound, I'm in.
That works.
Cool.
There you go.
I've been
Problem
disconnected.
solved. Just here's the thing: you're probably gonna hear an echo because you're gonna hear my voice twice through whoever who's streaming. You guys don't all have to stream. I think that's more than enough streams. So make sure you mute like the person that you're watching, their actual stream. It'll be on the bottom right. There's a little mic button, and then that way you'll be good. There we go. Problem solved. Okay, so anyways, let's actually dive into it here. So let's start off with 4-hour structure, as I was mentioning before. So I'm just gonna mark it out here. I'm gonna use the annotation tool.
Can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I can hear you, Sam.
Okay, well, it's just push to talk. Sorry, I spent ages trying to figure that out.
So Sam, I'm gonna start out with 4-hour structure here, right? So let's just start off with this, with our major breaks of structure, right? I'm gonna start kind of further back here. We have a bearish leg here from February, right? Looks like we obviously broke structure up. I'm kind of gonna consolidate it into like simple structure here. We break down, we close below this low, right? So we're bearish, right, from here to here, and then we break this low, which defines this high, and this is our current low. So this is our current range that we're in, I'd say. And then everything else is pretty much substructure to me. You could potentially consider this, but like I'd say this is substructure too. So within this range, obviously here's our equilibrium. We have a 4-hour zone that we could potentially look at that is in the EQ, and then we have this one here, and finally this one that looks like it's almost been mitigated, but potentially we could see a reaction off of that extreme 4-hour. And then on the flip side, because again, the way that I trade, I'm not always necessarily looking for expectational order flow on the 4-hour. Well, Sam is going to kick me for saying this because I know he likes to stick with 4-hour expectational order flow. There is also this bullish order block here that we can potentially play off. So let's play price forward. Let's actually also skip to...
That's not an order block, that's breaking structure.
Which one, Sam? Annotate it so we know which one you're talking about. Yeah, again, so the reason I'm marking this one out, Sam, is just because it's in the current leg, it's the extreme. But
alright, fair enough.
But you would, I get that.
No.
This is where Sam and I differ a little bit on how we mark out stuff, but let's see. He's right. It is a lower probability zone, and it's less likely to produce a reaction than these ones, right? But we do have some inducement. We have obviously this low here, a little bit of liquidity here that potentially could tap into it. So if anything, I'd be looking to take like maybe a 5R off of it, right? As an intraday like counter trend scalp or something. So I'm gonna skip forward to Frankfurt Open on this. Just go to the 15-minute. And as you guys can see here as well, we also have the 15-second running. So we'll be playing a little bit with like 15-second entries. Not to confuse those of you who are maybe new at it, but I mean the way that I treat the 15-second is I really just treat it a lot like the 1 minute. You're just able to see price action on a bit more of like a granular level, right? So
yeah, you just see it faster, mate. That's what it is.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, you can see your chalks and stuff like that. In terms of 15-minute, quickly mark this out too. So I'm gonna assume that something like this is Asia range. I'm not gonna mark it out exactly, but obviously we have Asia, which ranged pretty clearly there. And then if we skip here to in and around 15 minutes before Frankfurt Open, you can just quickly mark out 15-minute structure here too with the tool. Sam, do you want to mark it out or I'll mark it out? It's up to you.
You do it, brother.
Cool. So we got this one. We obviously have a bearish leg here. I'm going to zoom out a bit and let's see if we're actually in a complex pullback, because it is possible that we could be. I wouldn't say so, right? Because price is kind of pushing up. We break this major swing point here, which is what I have marked out here. And then we kind of range within this range, right? This is all a complex pullback. These are all substructure breaks, right? We range through Asia, again another substructure break, and then finally we break this major swing low, right? So that defines this high, and this is our current high and low. And then within that, on the 15-minute, we have a zone here, which is a base drop, right? And then also this, which potentially could hold, but it looks like we've kind of tapped it. It looks almost like a weak order block or a zone of supply that is either going to be used as inducement to pop up into one of these zones, or potentially, you know, the extreme up here. And then if you want to get really crazy with it, this is more for, you know, the advanced traders. For somebody like Suki who likes taking these counter trend trades in the live market, potentially you could try to long off of this too, knowing that we're in this 4-hour zone, right?
Hey Rob, I'm a changed man, alright?
What's that?
Shut up, Squeaky. You're never a changed man. Says me buying FOMC, but yeah, well, that's not the point, is it?
All right, cool. So let's play price forward and let's see what happens here. Again, I'll mark out our liquidity just really roughly here. Remember, we have liquidity here. We have liquidity at this area here, and we even have some liquidity kind of sitting here, right? So that's why we have it set.
Rob, can we go and take a look at this area here on the lower time frame quickly?
Yeah, we can. We'll take a look at it on the 5-minute. Yeah, this zone here. Yeah, so this isn't bad actually, right? That's kind of a.
Sorry, this range is nice. Mate. See if we get enough of that.
So I'll mark it. I like the 15-minute one. And again, I forgot to mark these all, but I like this drop, base drop, and potentially this extreme too. I'll just mark this out pretty loosely again.
Those highs there as well, nice, mate. To get run and then possibly a continuation. You might even see, I mean, that's pretty major structure. That's that, isn't it?
There's some form of liquidity sitting above. So we have had a reaction off of this already, but price, you know, as you can see, we're really bullish. Obviously, we've broken to the up.
So let's see what happens. Again, guys, if you're not asking a question, please mute your mic, just so we don't have too much background noise. Okay.
Or put push to talk on.
Or put push to talk on, which I thought was required here.
Yeah, it is for me, mate. Like I had to use it.
Bro.
I don't.
That means some of you are just holding your push to talk button down this entire time.
Correct.
Alright, so we're in our 15-minute POI here. So this is where we're going to start potentially observing for a long. This is actually pretty similar to kind of what happened on EU today. What I like to do, again, this is being a little bit more aggressive, but what I'll typically look for is breaks of, you know, in a scenario where I want to take a long, I'm going to start looking for breaks of supply, even on the 15-second, and potentially a change of character. So you can see here that we've already sort of built some liquidity on the 15-second. But if you're more of a conservative trader, you could wait, obviously, for the 1 minute. Change your character, which is, you know, you build your liquidity, you sweep it, and then you sweep to the upside, or break to the upside. Because there are a lot of false positives too.
Stop.
So we have one here. There's a chalk here.
Yeah, see how it reacts to this. And then you could, I mean, reasonably you could buy this with your stop just down here. So.
This wick here, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm half concentrating on EU at the moment as well.
Oh, it's okay. So we'll mark that out. And we'll even mark out the extreme potentially too. Remember, this is the 15 seconds, so really the way that I would look at it is I'd probably mark like this 2-minute candle out, if anything. So yeah, let's see. I'll set some limits already. No, we haven't really broke above this yet. Like ideally I would want to see like a close above this, but let's set a limit already. And oops, got to configure this. And we'll see if we get tagged in. Visual mode, 0.5% risk, okay. And what I'll do is I'll just cover the low a little bit here, because we could potentially sweep lower into like this 5-minute wick. We don't know, right? In which case we can attack it some more, but I like to try and follow that rule, Sam. I think it's a good rule of, you know, if you take 3 L's in a row and like you just call it for the day, right? So we'll try to like abide by that rule a little bit. We'll also rewind a bit if we do miss it, that's fine. Oh, it didn't tag us in.
That didn't fill us.
It didn't fill us.
You should have used the wick, mate.
Yeah. I think the wick that you mentioned was good.
It might come back. But I would guess,
I'll enter it for you, because you did call it, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'll cover the low. And you're right, it could come back, right? So I'm gonna set a limit on both.
Oh, it's 1.2 pips. It's tiny, man. It's nothing.
Yeah. I'm gonna set it the way that I would have entered it too. Potentially would have just missed me. I think that happens to me a lot in live session too. So.
I just not get execute.
Obviously, you get tapped in. Oh shit! I got tapped in too. Because this time I used the 2 minute. I think I did the 1 minute on the last one. And then let's look for scale-ins too. I know this is where Aaron's gonna start chiming in with some of his crazy like 15-second scale-ins. I think so. There is this potential zone here. I think Aaron would potentially be interested in. Aaron, what do you think? Would you enter that? I think he's sleeping. I can't hear him if he's talking.
Hello, Rizzo.
Aaron. Ah, he's not there. But anyways.
Aaron, push to talk on.
Push
to talk, mate.
He might be getting a coffee or something.
He just posted in the chat that his mic isn't working.
Oh, his mic isn't working. So here's the reason. Sam, tell me if Aaron would take this. But I think Aaron would take this is because we have obviously a supply zone here. We get a small reaction and we push up, right? And then we've got inducement too again on the 15-second. You can see it on the 1 minute as well, though it just wicks on the 1 minute. But the inducement is pretty clear, right? We have equal lows here, so again we can smash another potential 5 minute on that. And then we'll manage this the same way again that we would in a live market. I'm gonna give this a 2 pip stop. We'll cover, actually we'll do 2.5. We'll cover this low a little bit. That's how Aaron would enter, I'm guessing. Let's see if it taps him in. And then I'm just gonna look to take pretty much a partial profits at around 1 to 4, 20%. So once we hit 2K on all of these, we'll take off 20%. We'll be risk free, and then Bob's your uncle. So you can do it for these already. Take 20% off, which also takes 20% of the risk off the table, which you guys will probably remember from the little spreadsheet thing that Aaron posted. This one hasn't quite hit it yet. I think this might have been my buy at the very bottom, not really sure. But it should in a second hit 2K. The 14 lot. There we go. So I'll close 20% on that. So we're now risk free on that. So that to me is, good management. Did I do the right one? Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think so, dude.
Yeah, I think we're good. And then, yeah, as Sam's saying, look, we have, remember, we're pretty much playing a pullback on this. I'd say we're still bearish on the 4 hour, right?
I fully agree.
This guy.
Like fully bearish. I would expect to run into this high, maybe a run on it. There's probably something in here. I actually think I remember there's something in here. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, like just looking at this, I would, we've had impulse, correction, possible new impulse, but overall we are still very definitely bearish.
Yeah.
So the impulse, like at this point in time, this low has not, like, it's broken structure, yes, but not really significant swing structure, not like this, right?
Yeah.
So this high will be the strong high. This low, and look at how long it's taking to turn around as well. This low would more than likely be the one that's going to get run.
Yeah, so with that being said, there's a few ways we can manage it. If we feel that, like, what I honestly expect is that we are going to push up at least to one of these levels at minimum within.
This looks like an inside bar here as well.
Yeah.
And it's an SD flow.
Yeah.
So we might be able to short off of that.
And we can take, maybe potentially take more partials on that.
Yeah, so, yeah, partial there, sell to buy, to the moon, short.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Price doesn't necessarily need to pull back all the way up to any one of these zones on the 4 hour, right? It could just pull back a little bit and then continue down, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. We'll take a little bit more partials on this. I'm just going to take another 25%. That's kind of how I would manage it. Ideally, what you would have done, though, as well, is knowing that this is an inside bar. I honestly didn't see it because I have an indicator that usually helps me out on that. But Sam's absolutely right. We have an inside bar here. What I'd probably do is, you know, with Magic Keys or whatever trade manager you're using in MT4 or C-Trade or whatever, you can set, obviously, you know, your partial take profit levels at certain zones, right? And that's typically what I do. I usually do it kind of in and around like the, you know, the close of a bearish candle in this case, or sometimes the open. Or you can do even like the bottom of the wick in a scenario like this, right? That's what I did with my EU that I took, I think 2 days ago. Just set a bunch of partials, so. But for this, we'll just do it manually. So I'll hit close on these. And make sure I hit the right ones. This one, maybe 25%. And then same with this guy here. Hopefully I'm doing the right ones. It's a little confusing, but that's fine. We're gonna pay ourselves a little bit. We're floating at 10% right now, but we've locked in, you know, a good chunk of profit on these trades now. And now that we're in this inside bar 15-minute structural point, we can even mark out equilibrium on this, right, Sam? So we'll do, oops, use my little Fibonacci tool here. So what's nice about this is within 15-minute structure, this is obviously at the EQ, if not a little bit above it, right? In premium of our bearish leg. So, you know what? If things set up nicely and, you know, we're in London lull, lately it's been pretty good. Potentially look for a chalk on the 1 minute 15 second and try to short it. So I'd say we even pretty much got it here, right? Ideally, I mean, we're breaking like substructural levels here now, but yeah, I think I'd want to see something major like this get broken, right? I think for Aaron, it's good enough for him, right? Because he's looking at this demand zone here that's getting taken. So he's kind of looking at this as a supply to demand flip, like that, right?
Can you hear me now?
Now,
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I've figured out how to do it. I have to press the space bar and then speak.
Push to talk.
Yeah, I don't like this setting. But as you were, carry on.
Yeah. So I just want to quickly ask: is everybody able to see? I guess Sean, the sweep, is also is streaming it. Is everybody able to watch right now? Like, we're all good. You could just unmute yourself. And
Yeah, it's so good, mate.
Yes, all is good now.
It's Black Watch. It won't let me watch. It's full.
You gotta watch. Brian, is that you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sean the sweep or Simon Patrick. Thanks again, Sean and Simon for restreaming my stuff. By the way, really appreciate that. So again, here's another area that I think, Aaron, you'd potentially short based on, you know, the way that I know that you trade. So I'm just gonna smash market on this guy here. Again, it's just a flip zone on the 15-second, right? And obviously we've got our change of character. We've swept this. We've obviously swept a lot of like 15-minute, you know, mid time frame liquidity here into our inside bar, and then we started to break down, right? So
I'd probably take something higher up, to be honest.
Okay, fair
because
enough.
the actual reaction was higher up.
So where would you take it then? You're thinking one of these zones, right? Maybe not the extreme.
The extreme is looking good right now because all of them, like, I'm going to annotate, so I'll have to unpress the spacebar. So I'll talk in a second. 1 sec.
All right. Well, so I think, yeah, the inducement, exactly. So there's liquidity sitting here, as Aaron's saying. I think if you want to be aggressive with it, I'm still going to enter this short just for the sake of like testing it out. But, you know, this is obviously a more aggressive. This is not as high probability of an entry. As much as it is a flip zone, and I know you guys love flip zones, you know, when you see liquidity like this, you know, Aaron's right. You should potentially be looking to take the unmitigated zone that's sitting above it. That's basically, you know, this is just inducement, right? So we'll give it a 2 pip, and let's see how it plays out. Potentially we're gonna get swept here. Price might fade out, and again, we'll manage this the same way. If we hit 1 to 4 on this, then okay, we're gonna get swept. It's good. Take a little L on that. If we hit 1 to 4 on any of these, I'm just gonna take 20% off and then let the rest run. Okay, so we're in on Aaron's trade now. It's good. We're just gonna wait till this hits 2K, right? Because we're risking $500. 500 times 4 is 2,000. once we hit that mark. Oh, we're actually a little bit past it. That's good. We'll cover our risk like so, right? Take 20% off, and we'll let it run. So I actually think potentially could look again for longs here. What might happen though is, I mean, it's nice that we're hedged and we're technically with trend now off of a 15-minute premium, like basically supply zone within this 15-minute bearish leg, right? What could happen is either the lows are going to get, you know, taken out completely, and we didn't really pay ourselves much on the buys, but on the flip side, we could, you know, pull up higher. I think, yeah, again, for this one, we're just going to see which one wins. I'm not necessarily going to look to, I mean, we could take partials on the short that we just took, right? But I think that's the one that I'm kind of expecting to work out here. So we'll see. I'll mark out the, and again, we're not going to set break even on these ones like we normally do, because we've managed it in a way that we can leave our risk open. Again, because we've taken out 20% of our position size on these positions, we're good. We're good if it takes us out, right? But basically, I'm looking now for this 15-minute zone, right? This is within the discount of the larger 15-minute leg. Again, this is still within that 4-hour zone, though this is a little bit weak, and we are potentially inducing for this this 4-hour zone that's sitting below, right? We're kind of building liquidity. But the reason I like this zone here, and I think some of you guys will agree, is we have this liquidity that we built from the previous day, and that basically got swept. We then pushed up, broke 15-minute substructure. So that tells me there is obviously intent potentially for price to push up higher, right? But we don't know, we don't fully know. I mean, I don't remember this price action, to be quite honest. I have short-term memory loss when it comes to PA. I'm not like Sam, who somehow has like photographic memory. So
sorry, I'm just concentrating on you. So I will be involved in it. I'm just watching what it does.
I was doing the same.
It's all good.
Aaron both have the positions open, mate. So it's moving a bit dodgy at the moment, so we're both just keeping an eye. But
we say moon, boys.
Yeah, moon, mate. Off she goes. Off she goes.
Partials have been taken.
Partials will
Sick. Aaron, well done, mate.
Wait, Sam, did you catch this one too?
Yeah. I got in. Oh, you don't want to know how many times I got in.
Nice, man. Yeah, hit the 5-second flip on the beginning.
Right at the bottom.
Yeah.
I took a 10 tick.
Yeah.
Jeez. I got Aaron, with your short here, do you want to take some partials? You got to let me know how you want to manage it.
Yeah. I'd say 80%.
Okay. We'll take 80. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll pay ourselves, right? Probably should have done it a little bit lower down, but that's fine. We'll let the rest run, right?
I'd look to enter now.
Yeah, I knew Sam was gonna have something to say about that for sure. So
sorry, I'm still looking at you, man.
I've got so many notifications going off on my watch.
Yeah, it's because it's mooning, bro.
Oh, you're talking about EU in current price right now? Is it doing something?
Look at it.
Dude. Oh, because of FOMC. I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I had like
trading it.
4 open before. I've got like 3. Well, I've got 5 open in total.
Did anybody blow their accounts yet?
Guys, trade away from the sweep.
Trade away from the sweep. If you see a sweep like that, trade in the other fucking direction.
I got swept.
Oh, I got swept as well, mate. Don't worry. I got in the initial leg up, and then now just after that sweep, I got back in. Yeah, see what it does.
Okay, so going back to this. Sorry to interrupt you guys live trading your FOMC, but there is this zone here that potentially I'm looking at as a flip, right? We pushed, we've created a small reaction. Actually, you can even see this reaction on the 1 minute. I'll zoom into it, right? That little bearish candle here. That's reacted off of this doji. So potentially that's a zone that we can play off of. We've broken 1 minute substructure. We've obviously swept this. Ideally, I would want to see a break of this supply zone here, right? And a close above it on the 1 minute. Knowing that, again, we're in this 15-minute zone, right? But if we want to be aggressive with it, we can just look to take, you know, 15-second chalks and potentially get swept. So let's see what happens. It is nice though that I don't know if you guys noticed here at the top, this supply zone did produce a reaction as well. So this is potentially shaping up to be a flip zone as well, right? Assuming that we break above this high, or these equal highs here. So I'm going to set an order here, and then if we break above, I'll also set an order at this level that I've marked out on the 15-second, which would be on the 1 minute this bearish candle. That's how I'm going to play that. And now this is New York open as well, so you can probably expect either that New York type reversal, some sort of volume. Remember, we're still kind of in our shorts too. We've partialed out 20% at 4R at 2,000 on $500 risk, and then also 80% in and around the 15-minute zone that we have marked out here. So we've managed our risk well on that. We've now been tapped into this 15-second post change of character, right? And I'll just mark that out for you guys again so that it's super clear, right? We have our liquidity here, we've swept it, right? And then look, we broke above these sort of substructural levels. And then we can look for, again, that re-entry once we close above. So let's see if we do that. And the minute I hit 2K,
Rob,
hey, what's up?
Would you be able to take history off the chart and make it a bit cleaner? There's a lot going on, it's hard to see.
Aaron doesn't like his history on the charts. So the way that I'm going to look at this, Aaron, tell me if you agree, or if you're still looking at the live market, it's fine.
No, I'm
this
looking
area
at
here, right, kind of produces, and there's kind of like a series of mitigations, right? Again, I'm looking at the 15-second, almost treating it like I would the 1 minute. And then I'm going to look to see what broke those areas of supply, right? Almost the way that, you know, Alex Tricky looks at how, you know, price breaks those supply or demand zones in that one video that he posted a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago. It's a really good video. If you guys haven't watched that, go watch it. I think I mention it like every time I backtest because it's just so good. But that's what I'm kind of looking at there. This is pretty much responsible for that, right? The only issue I see with it is we're now creating inducement, whoops, with this liquidity that's kind of sitting below here. And we're getting like very granular with price action on this, but I think there is something that can be learned from, you know, the 15-second on this, right? Again, just treating it like the 1 minute. So what's
Can you zoom in on the M5, please?
Yeah, sure. Sitting below all that, we have this zone 2, right, which is an extreme, and then again, got a little bit of liquidity sitting there. But let's zoom in for Aaron. That's a flip zone 2, right? This area where I entered. I think that's what you were kind of looking for, right? We've mitigated this previous 5 minute here. It's getting a little messy with all the zones, but this is that 5 minute zone I'm kind of looking at. I'll delete that. Is there something you want to enter, Aaron?
I'd probably be tempted to end that here. If we're being aggressive with the continuations. Because it mitigated here, it reacted from that supply, broke it, it came down, mitigated it, and pushed through again. Like this, to me, would be a valid place to look for a buy.
So are you talking about here, or you want to mark it, or
in this bit here?
Ah, okay, gotcha. Okay, so I'll set an order there for you. We'll give it 2 pips. Let's see what happens. It's funny, we've only done 1 day of price action. We're already up like 20R, 12R, 18R. Just keeps going.
Sick.
Yeah. Can't remember. For those of you that were paying attention, did I take 20% off of this long yet? I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. I'll take it off right now. Cover our risk. 20% on that one. Aaron's is about to hit 2K. That's this buy at 21 lots, I believe. Okay, there you go. And we'll close that. 20%, cover our risk. 4R, right? And let's play it. It's good at paying ourselves. We've hit 40R now, floating. Now we're in another 15-minute zone. Honestly, for me, I would probably cut these short, but what we can do is I'm going to just take partials on all of these buys and pay ourselves a little bit more. What do you guys think, Sam, Aaron, Brian? How would you manage this? Because remember, we are counter trend too, right? Assuming that you know, this isn't going to get swept, I don't want to leave all this profit on the table if this, you know, produces a reaction, right? So I think the way I do it is just I'm going to take 50% off all of these buys. Even the I think these are our original buys that we got from earlier in the day. So we'll close that. And then these two, the 26 and 17 lot, same thing. Half off on that one, and then close another 50% on that. Yeah, so let's see. It's pretty good. And honestly, we can look for another hedge. See if we produce something. Well, the only problem with this is, remember, if this is our, I know this is kind of messy, but you guys have to bear with me. This is our equilibrium, right? Sorry. We're technically in discount here. So this is not like the highest probability zone. Potentially this is just inducement. So I think for me, I would sit out of this unless we get some sort of really nice price action playing out. But I am expecting this is probably going to get swept. Produce a small reaction there. Trying to see. We technically swept this level here on the one.
Sorry, I'm back.
What's that?
I said I'm Batman, sorry.
No worries, no worries. How many accounts do you blow, Sam? Did you trade F1C?
Yeah, I got 3 positions on it, man.
Oh, nice. Okay, price is ranging. Starting to build some liquidity to the upside here. So it's good we took partials on that. Again, because there was a possibility that this is going to produce that reaction, and it did, right? So we're starting to break down. We have a pretty clear 1 minute change of character now, right? So I'll just mark this out. Where is our change of character? Fortunately, you guys can't annotate, but I'll just tell you guys where it is, right? We have this liquidity we've swept. Obviously, all of this liquidity, we had equal highs that got swept too the minute that price started pushing up here. And then, let's see, tapped into something here. And then, looks like we broke down and and closed below these 1 minute substructural levels, and then even this one, right? We closed right below it. So, potentially, again, the only issue with this is like there is liquidity sitting here. So we might get swept if we try to short it. But yeah, I don't think I would necessarily try to trade this short.
How many fucking positions have we got open?
Buddy, too many. Looks like we have,
Who's that? Is that Aaron?
We've got 6 positions. Well, half of them are mine too, right? And I know how Aaron trades. He just loves smashing, buying, and sells. So
hold on, I've taken 2 trades too. Up down.
So yeah, most of them are me then. Aaron, what do you think? You wouldn't short this either, right? Like, just this price action isn't the nicest, and I don't
no, it's dead. I wouldn't do it.
That's running highs, 100%. That's those highs there are getting smashed in.
No, look at this price action. Wait 1 second.
Yeah, that's right. So trade away from the trap. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna sweep the high now.
No, so swept the lows now, sweeping the highs. If it fails to break these highs, then you can short it because it's just another sweep. You just trade away back down.
So yeah, let's see if we get a another change in character. So same thing, right? That we always look for. Again, this is just on the 1 minute. Probably just as clear. Or clearer on the 15 second. But you guys see the swing point here on the 1 minute? This obviously got swept out. Somehow we didn't get taken out, break even on that. So if we start breaking like, yeah, lows on that, definitely got to change the character on the 15 second, right? This low that Aaron was marking out, and this one too. These are all like substructural, I'd say, on the 1 minute. Probably look, well actually, yeah, you know what? Even on the 1 minute, I'd argue that these are major levels actually, right? Because this technically is a flip zone. This got taken out, so potentially we can look for shorts here.
Yeah, I'd be looking somewhere in here.
Yeah, break higher. Yeah. So we'll do another trade for Aaron here. Again, another flip zone, right? Here's our demand, right? Produces a reaction, then blows through it. So we'll do that. Give it 2.5 pip stop.
No, sorry, I want something where that 5M is.
The wick?
Yeah, these wicks.
Okay. So let me...
What's that? I'll just, when you put the thing there, I'll be able to see what it is on the lower time frame.
Yeah, so I'll do exactly that. So here to here.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, that's good. It's actually a, I'll give you a little bit of buffer down. Do something like that. Just want to make sure you get tagged in. You're getting some inducement, right? Liquidity building here. That's good. There we go, we're in. Good call, Aaron. Just got in. It's a good thing I pushed you down a bit. I don't think you would have got tapped in otherwise. Or maybe we'll retest it. Let's see.
What are you running?
We are running.
We're going down pretty correct.
4 hour on that. Let's see. It's just ranging though. See if we get that end of day push.
Then maybe take. Oh, too late.
Well, we didn't hit 4 hours, so.
I was going to say take some partials because we've corrected straight into that demand.
Yeah, fair enough. The 5 minute, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. Sometimes you're gonna get swept. Not a big deal. Let's actually see, what did we tap into here though? This 1 minute maybe. Try to reverse engineer it. We won't rewind because honestly we're doing pretty good here. I want to show you guys we don't need to rewind all the time. But it looks like it tapped into this guy here. Or pretty much the extreme, right? Induced it. That's okay. Still running pretty nice on that. And we're hedged so well that like, no matter what price does at this point, like, pretty good. We're pretty okay here. Tap into that 15 minute again. So this is very reminiscent of like current price action, honestly, because we've just been so like rangy. Maybe not with FOMC, but I'm thinking like even just all of July has been rangy, right? It's summer. As Phantom said, like people are on holidays and stuff, right? Banks, traders, whatever. So price action's been pretty rangy, so you can kind of ping pong it, right? We're just playing the edges of this range that we've developed here. If you look at current price action on EU, it's just like on the 4 hour, it's literally just a range. Alright, I'm gonna mute you.
No, we don't have to be trading yet, sorry.
Push to talk was on. I don't know what happened there. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's just see. Was that news? Oh yeah, it was. Oh, it was FOMC. So we just pulled what Sam did. I think honestly with that,
maybe.
Yeah.
I actually took that trade as well, live.
Take this trade, Sam?
I was in at the bottom here, yeah, I got in, I didn't get in FOMC, but like, I got in on one of these entries down here.
Nice.
Yeah. That was a jokes trade, mate, just fucking, I love trades like that.
So I'm going to take some partials on some of these, just so we lock in some of this FOMC profit. And
mate, it's moving so fast then you would have got slipped.
Yeah, probably.
Like, see, that moves so fast, that does 50 pips in fucking 20 seconds or something.
But does it pull back? Yeah, it does, right?
Not yet. It gets to like...
Let it play a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, it goes to the extreme, doesn't it? So honestly, I think for me, I would just look to TP hard on that, eh? So I'm going to do that.
I'd let that get run.
Does it get run?
It does get run, but I'd let it get run as well. You've just got too much liquidity up there.
Yeah, it goes all the way to the extreme, bro.
Oh, this one you're saying?
Yeah.
But you have to look at, like, this is the reaction from the liquidity, right? Like, you just figured all of those orders, and now you're getting that huge reaction back down, and then it will just fucking moon again.
Did you short this too? I know you shorted this. I know you shorted this, Sam, because you're crazy like that.
No.
No.
I am weird, but this doesn't make any sense.
You
There's
are
no
weird.
flip.
That's for sure. You weirdo.
Yeah.
Should buy on those wicks.
Like, I personally wouldn't trade this. Yeah, I wouldn't trade this. Too risky for me. Because you don't know if it's going to slip the other way, right? Slip you for, like, negative, like, 50R or something stupid. Blow your account, right? That's just me. I'm assuming, Sam, when you traded FOMC today, you used smaller risk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you also made 150R, so it's like...
That sounded like a no.
Flip it a bit, right?
Yeah, no, I've had a good week, mate, so whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Alright, so next day. So that was one day, and we've already made 64R, guys. So that's a really good... This is just on a Wednesday. I actually find, and I don't know if Brian's still in here. I don't think he is. I find that typically midweek tends to be the most profitable days for me. Mondays not so much. Fridays are not bad either, especially in the past. Like New York, I've traded and can usually pull something out of the market, like late session or late London, right? London low. But yeah, forgot where I was going with this. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I don't know if you guys agree with me. I like trading midweek. It tends to have like nice setups and nice movements. You can kind of like technically swing it. There's usually like big moves that happen midweek. But then Mondays and Fridays, I usually just try to scalp, get in and out, 5, 10 hour, whatever. So there's Frankfurt open. Let's quickly clear the charts here, and just go objects list on this. It lets me select it. No. Just want to clear the charts because it's so messy. There we go. Okay, that's probably good enough. So let's look at structure again here. So same thing. We're still within our 4-hour like major bearish leg, I'd say. We're starting to induce potentially for this zone here, right? So overall, in the higher time frame, I'm still bearish on this. But then let's also break down the 15-minute because we're now like technically in a pullback phase of the 15-minute, and we can kind of break that down like so. I'll just use the pen tool to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at. So this is our previous swing high, swing low, right? We failed to break this low. Instead, FOMC popped up and just smashed through that, right? So based on that, I'm gonna look at the zone that pretty much broke that. For me, that defines this low as our current 15-minute leg low, and then this high, right? But that's not to say that potentially, I mean, this is mitigated on the 15-minute. It's not to say that we can't induce for this either, right? That's kind of how I look at structure. I know, like, I mean, Sam, how do you look at it when we have a scenario like this? Because I'll typically...
What would I do here?
No, like, how do you typically look at structure?
I would be saying at the moment...
Is this your low?
This would be my low, yeah.
On the 15-minute, though.
This would be here, right? This would be the high,
right.
but I would be looking at sells back down to here, 100%.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, that's just had such a massive move up, right? We've like literally just run all of that liquidity. That's going to have a fucking reaction. This low is weak. Structurally, we're bearish. Short it to take out that low. That's what I'd be thinking.
Fair enough. That makes sense to me. Yeah, so it's weird because the way that I typically look at it, and maybe I'll change it a bit, is again, I'd usually look at this as like this being as my defined like swing low, but I would still look potentially to take longs off of stuff like this, right? So I guess it's kind of like the same way that you're looking at it. It's just like how I mark out structural points, right? But I agree. So price is definitely exhausted after this huge FOMC move up. So it's something to take note of. It looks like we just barely swept this high in the 15 minutes. So let's see, like maybe Frankfurt Open is gonna, you know, just dump as a risk entry, or what's gonna happen, and what typically happens is you usually get a pretty big move in and around 8 BST or GMT, right, which is London Open. So I'm gonna play price forward a little bit. Let's see what happens, and we'll kind of react to it. Not really like too keen on taking a risk entry on this yet, but see if we get a chalk. We just did. Got a pretty clear chalk there. So what I'm thinking is potentially we can look to short off of one of these levels, right? You have a flip zone here, right? You have a demand that produces a reaction, gets blown through, right? We even technically have, because we've kind of got some liquidity sitting here on the 15-second, right? Which is technically like this wick that we see here, right? These two wicks. Potentially what we can see is this as a flip zone as well, kind of on the extreme, right? Oh, sorry, so this here. So if you guys can see this small like bearish counter trend candle, actually technically it doesn't tap into anything. So I'd maybe just mark out this extreme. It's not necessarily a flip zone, like you'd be hard pressed to call it one. But if anything, you have that, right? And then again, obviously we swept all this liquidity that was sitting above here, right? Same with this trend line liquidity. It kind of just popped up a little bit higher, and then also we swept again. We subtly swept this 15-minute high, right? Kind of had trend line liquidity there in a way. So let's see if price comes back. I'm gonna start setting limits already. Obviously we broke these lows, right? All of these lows here, so that's a good change of character for me. I'm gonna leave a limit order here, 3.2 pips, and then we'll set one at the extreme too. And what you can do, and what I sometimes I'll do too, is if I don't feel comfortable putting a full 0.5% risk on this, I'll just split it up, 0.25, 0.25. But here's the thing, if you're up from the previous day, 64R like we are, there's no harm in setting, you know, a couple 0.5% risk entries. Like I really don't think there's an issue with it. You're just flipping your profits in a way, right? So let's see, I have a feeling we're gonna pop off of that and maybe come back to this zone here. Might get a re-entry, might not. Yeah, and then we get a bunch of wicks too. Sam's marking out here.
Sorry, I keep forgetting this push support. We've got an inside bar here, right? So we've got a range that broke structure to the left there. So we want to see how we react to this, see whether we can get a long off it, potentially, because, like, reasonably speaking, if I know what happens here, but I would be looking at longs from this area or shorts, right? Depending on how we react, because we do have liquidity still up here, so we could still run those highs, right?
Yeah,
but I'd also be very, very aware that we're, you know, trading into a weak low with loads of liquidity.
Yeah, that, and I'd say we're close enough to equilibrium that we could reasonably take a long. The other thing that I kind of like about this, Sam, actually you're long, now that you mention it, is look, we're right in and around London Open too, right? So again, I always expect, like it's not like it happens every day. I mean, look at today on EU, right? We kind of just ranged. And I took an L on that, right? In like live price action, but you know, typically, yeah, like if it lines up with an open of a session, like you can maybe take something, right? Whether it's a risk or confirmation entry. So let's see if we get a chalk here within that zone. Again, I don't have that inside bar indicator, but good call on that. Sam has sharp eyes. He's able to call it out. Let's see if we pop up. And we've obviously swept some liquidity here. Same.
You believe me if I said I remember that 1 minute inside bar from whatever that is.
Yeah.
March. I actually remember that inside bar.
You mean the 5-minute inside bar?
Yeah, I remember it. I remember looking. Well, I do. I remember looking at it to get long. It's
So
just
here's
nice.
what I would look at probably. There are a couple zones. Technically didn't mitigate this. This supply filled, right? In the 1 minute, which is probably a really clear 15-second. And if I mark that out, that's what this is, right? So this is technically a flip zone. May not be the clearest thing. I'll zoom into it a little bit so you guys can see, but like typically I think when people mark out supply to demand flip zones, they're looking at just one area. But look, in this case, we also like swept this liquidity. We had multiple areas of almost like bearish supply, bearish order flow, right? We had this supply, which got mitigated by this, which created another supply, which got mitigated by this, which created another supply, push down, right? So here's where we're kind of pushing down, and then we pop up above it, right? What causes the pop up above and the sweep of the supply? This here, right? And then again, I'll mark out our extreme as well so we can look at both. So that's the extreme. Might induce into that. So same thing. I'm gonna set limits on both of these. I'm gonna close out the sell limits on this, and let's see if we can kind of catch something like so.
I'd be looking for shorts as well, by the way.
Yeah, if we get back up to this, right?
No. You see where it flips this low?
Mark it up. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, so let's.
But I'd wait for confirmation in there though.
No, fair enough. Let's investigate it though, because I'm sure. Yeah, so it's these zones you're looking at, right? Probably this higher one.
Yeah. Either of them. Just wait for a reaction. If you get a chock back down, then you can enter.
Yeah. Let's see if he even taps us into these first. Might not. I think at some point, if we get too far away from
I'd go short now. Go short now. Oh.
Alright.
We had a 1 minute chock.
So let's explain it to them, Aaron. So you're looking at it as what, this mitigation of this area?
Yeah, these, like, you can see on the 5M, like, that's the bit that reacted to the low before breaking through with aggression.
Right.
And then price has pulled back into the area, and then it's done a 1 minute chock. If you zoom in on the 1 minute, you see it clearer.
Oh, you're saying short it, yeah? I'd short it.
Because we're trading away from the higher time frame sweep and 4 hour mitigation.
Yeah, and 15-minute bars and everything. Like it should. I'd 100% be looking at longs as well personally, but I would be looking at shorts too.
Yeah.
Shorts are definitely fucking good.
Yeah. So do you guys want to set market or should we set a limit? Oh, I think
If you zoom in on the 1M.
Yeah.
I think maybe set it at the extreme. We might have missed it, but yeah.
Okay. Oh, it hasn't been mitigated, so that's good. We're kind of inducing into it.
Yeah, because there looks like there was a seconds time frame flip on that extreme as well. Like pushed through and then it wicked into it and then pushed through.
Alright, let's see. That's good. We're kind of gonna hedge London Open here. Let's see. Just ranging. Okay, good. We're in Aaron's position. Let's see if we tap into my long. Oh, looks like it's building equal highs.
Oof.
Oh, you're good.
Jesus Christ. I'd look to enter again. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't enter again, but that would have been a re-entry if you didn't get the initial one.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't think I'd re-enter either, just because
Because
risk open,
the aggression, that second trade's actually arguably much better because the aggressive push down and then it pulled back up.
Here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're retesting it. Good call. Good call on the short. Okay, so we're way past it. We're already at like almost 8 hour on this, but we'll just cover our risk like this so we can leave our stop open. Hit play. Ranging.
It's probably going to come to.
I was going to say, guys, if you want to
this,
open up for questions too, we can. Just unmute yourself. I'll unmute KMR. I don't know if he's.
Should have shorted where I put my box.
Actually, yeah, look, so, sorry, I wasn't paying attention, but there is this zone, right? Which is a flip zone too. And it induced
Yeah, it's clean on the seconds time frame as well.
Yeah. Let's mark it out, let's investigate. We can rewind on that one, what do you think? You called it.
Yeah, I did put the box on there before it happened. So you just wasn't watching.
Alright, let's rewind. We'll take it. So, looking at that. Accept. Okay. So now you're in. And same thing, we'll manage it once we hit 2000.
Yeah, because this is a continuation trade. This is where I'd be much more aggressive on my management. Like once we hit like 5R, I'd take a large chunk off.
Okay, alright.
But that's just me.
I think we can.
I'm not the best at management, so but that's what I do.
I took 20% off at 5R for you, so we're risk free at least. But I do think it's gonna drop a little bit lower. Just clear this. Oh, we're playing games a little bit here. It's London low, being rangy. I do think it's gonna dump though. Just weak. Wants to correct, right? It's pretty good shorts there.
Yeah, I love your shorts, man.
This is almost like the short from a couple days ago that some of you guys took from Asia.
Wait, you could hedge this.
You could.
You could hedge it.
Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, hedge it up.
Does this react to this or not? You could have hedged it like here. You could have got in this here.
We can still set a limit on it. Let's try. I think it might come down to it. Let's do that. So yeah, I'm just thinking like, what's the reason you would hedge it to, right? Because we swept this.
Because you're still like on the 15-minute, you're still bullish.
Yeah.
Right, so
and
longs are definitely
right?
valid to potentially. You don't want to let these shorts go to complete waste. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's see if we can cover the risk on the buy too.
Yeah. Right, and you don't want to partial the shorts, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not quite. Oh, come on, a little bit higher. We can take risk off the table. Just need to hit 2,000. Right, this buy. There we go. It's close enough. Okay, we're risk-free on pretty much all of those now. It's good management.
Aaron, why does it always end up with me buying and you selling?
I've told you. I've told you. We go against each other.
Dude,
I'd place a short trade at the top now. Just gone quite far, but it's tapped into that 5M.
This guy here, yeah.
And just following bearish intentions. It just looks like mitigation to mitigation.
Yeah, I fully agree, man. Fully agree. I reckon the hedge is going to die, but
It's like a 5M doji with an impulsive push straight out of it.
yeah, and it's got nice equals above it, and it creates equal lows, and it's nice. That's going to die, and that's about.
And this is a really good example of a nice hedge. We're right at New York Open too, so you know what? Like either way, we've covered our risk on all of these by taking partials, 20% at 4R. Maybe it doesn't cover commission, but it's good enough.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
floor now. You could have shorted it just then.
Could have.
Just not about now. Not really.
I'm gonna stick to the extreme.
Wait, if you pause it and rewind, I want to show you an aggressive entry on 15 seconds in that area.
Let's see. Which one?
You keep getting all the way back to where that basically entry line is.
Here?
Yeah, wait. So like, see this wick taps. Oh, stop. This wick is if you zoom in because it's going to be hard for people to see. This wick pushes in, so let's push it out. It fails to take out the high when it closes, and then you can just enter.
Honestly, you lost me on that
thingy as well.
Can you draw it as a line chart to explain it? Because it's pretty hard to read. So you're saying, okay, so we have like this, right?
Yeah.
Fails to break this high. And then what?
Yeah, so look, it pushes up. This is basically the last level of demand. It pushes in, and then it fails to take out the high.
Yeah.
And then it pushes through the reaction.
Oh yeah, like this.
And then once it closes, and then you can basically just enter anywhere in here with your stop protected above here.
Cool.
That's how I took a 1M trade like that today.
Nice. So we'll rewind. I'll take it for you if you want. I'm good with that. Let's clear our drawings. Well, it's technically where we've entered.
Yeah, I wouldn't enter it again, to be honest. If we've already got an entry on that same spot.
Fair enough. Okay.
I just wanted to show people.
Makes sense. Clear this thing. Clear. Oh shit, did we take... Yeah, we did. We took partials on this already, right? I think we're good. Alright, here we go. It's gonna dump probably. It's New York. New York, New York. We're floating at about 20R in our current positions. 80R overall. 86R.
How many days? 2?
It's been 2 days.
Okay.
I think we rewinded on one entry, which Aaron called, so it's like, there you go.
I'd be looking to take some heavy partials when we get into this.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because,
range,
like
right?
Sam said, that's like the extreme
This is also a 4 hours.
demands. Yeah, so you're gonna get a big reaction from there. Whether it holds, we don't know, but you'll get a pullback from it, and you don't know how deep that pullback will be. It could pull all the way back up into premium of this leg before coming back down. You don't know.
Yeah. Okay, this is where we're gonna take heavy partials. Or do you want to go a little bit deeper? I think for me, I'd be happy with that. What do you think? We don't need to be greedy about it. Close 80 on these guys. Even though it is very likely that it is going to pop lower. I'm expecting that.
There's been many a trade this week where I thought it was going to keep going higher and higher, and then it just turns around.
It's happened to me a few times as well.
It's happened to me.
The key is just make a decision and be happy with whatever happens after that decision.
Yeah, there you go. It's starting to turn around. But yeah, that's okay. In the off chance that we do blow through this and we continue like bearish, right? From here, I mean, it's like we still have 20. We have basically what, 9 lots, roughly 10 lots.
Yeah, I'm not being funny. Like if this was live and you banked all of that and you still got a little bit running, you'd be happy.
Be very happy, yeah.
You're never going to catch the whole move.
No. Unless you're Sam. Yesterday. 150.
Didn't it, mate?
No, even Sam's not going to catch all of that move, right? Like, we don't know where it's going to turn around.
No, I'm still in those ones.
Reactionary traders, right? It's not about guessing.
Could look to short from this 15M inside bar.
Sorry, hold on, let me pause it. I'm just going to quickly make an announcement because I think there are some people that are trying to get into the Zoom still.
No.
Do you mind marking out where you wanna? Where did you wanna short?
Yeah, 2-6. Is it on 15M inside bar? I'd just be looking for a chock, like the entry cut here from somewhere in this level. Even if it's just a quick pullback. No, not pullback, like push down to the lows.
Alright. Sorry, where'd you mark that? Oh, okay, up here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens. And we're at 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I could see that working. That didn't go deep enough for me personally, but it did tap into this this 1 minute, right? Would have wanted it to come a little bit higher.
Yeah, we missed the entry, I think.
Yeah, here, right? So we'll break it down. I'm not going to take it because I don't want to rewind, but this is what Aaron's talking about. This flip zone. Oh wait, would that have tapped this in? No. How would you have entered it, Aaron? Am I missing something?
Let me see if this.
This one would have tapped you.
Play it here, sorry, I'll keep forgetting to press spacebar.
Yeah, through here, right?
Yeah, because this took out the high, it pulled in, reacted, pushed through, we based, then dropped. And yeah, and then you could just be targeting the lows.
There is a small chance, I think, that we could induce into this. Or potentially,
yeah.
I think if you would mark this out as the whole 1 minute candle, including the bearish candle's wick here, I think you would have got tapped in. So look. Or maybe not.
Yeah.
Spreads, right? Yeah, actually, I don't know. See on the 1 minute?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. We're going back towards the lows now anyway, so that would have been my first target.
Yeah, true. Scalp. And you're also shorting in discount too, right? So.
Yeah, rewind. Sorry.
You could take it now. Just like sell limit, right? Oh, you wanna buy? Okay. I'm gonna set this. I'm okay with being wrong on it. Oh, and you want to long that based on this. What is this an inside bar? Nope. It's just a doji.
Does it tap doji?
Taps the doji.
Nu skulle det vara på senaste förbered för att ta reda på det. Jag har någon massa problem.
Sorry, Muna, I gotta mute you. It's a little noisy for everybody. Okay, sorry, so I'll rewind for you. Yeah, this is not a trade personally I'd take, Aaron, but I can see your logic behind it, and I'm willing to bet. Yeah, see on the 5 minutes, a little range. It's also a flip zone, right? Reacts to this wick and then pushes through. Okay, so
yeah, we've swept these lows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have entered there.
Okay, let's do it. I'm good with that. Did call it out. So what you would have done was, again, based on that sweep, right? Just taking the extreme, right? Plus you get a 15-second. This is the most minor chotch, but technically, if you combine everything else that we're talking about, it's pretty valid.
Yeah, I'll just
know I would
on the 1M.
See this in the live market.
No, Rob.
What?
Put it on the top of the 1M candle.
Okay, sure. Right, so the whole range of the 15. So
yeah, when I enter in the market, if the stop's still small enough, I'll use the 1M candle to avoid not. Well, you could have took the extreme. It would have still worked, but
yeah.
There's many a times where it don't tag.
Oh, of course. Okay, I'm gonna set one up here too. We'll hedge it. But I I'm expecting, yeah, this is probably gonna get swept. Let's see. Tag is in.
Yeah,
Nice.
because this 15-minute inside bar failed to close below this low, I'd be expecting a push up into here now. Because this high is weak, this supply is weak.
Let's see who's right. Nice hedge. Nice end of day push hedge, I think. Right, we're in and around
again here.
Yeah, you could have. I personally wouldn't. I think you're gonna be right on this one though, Aaron. I wouldn't because you're still like not risk free. Though we can get risk free, and we could have got risk free on that long. Yeah, so we'll do that. Just 20% on that. So we're risk free on the long. The short, I think we might have been risk free too. Let's see. Probably gonna fail though. Or we're just gonna range. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. We're hedged, right? So. Oh man. Just keep sweeping the highs. I'm hoping we can get to 4R on the short. Nope. You're out. It's okay, we're still in the long. We're floating almost 11R. Almost 12R. Wait, so sorry, where did you want a partial? Here?
Just take 20% off to make risk free, yeah, but I'm expecting it to run this doji at this, not in doji, inside bar, because the supplier here failed to break the low and close. So I'd be expecting this to be run to the next supply zone.
Makes sense. So it's really just inducement for the next supply. Yeah, let's see. So I think, yeah, the way I'd expect you to manage this is probably look to take 80% at that zone then, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're at end of day now on this one, so I'm gonna push price forward. Well, I guess let's see what happens. Almost at London close. This is definitely gonna fail, you're right.
It looked like there was loads of scaling
my short was
opportunities
not
as well.
the most HP setup. Based on Aaron's analysis.
Yeah, close. 80%.
We'll hold the rest through spread hours, whatever. We'll probably have to do swaps on it a little bit. Surely even, I don't know if there's swaps in software FX, but
No, I don't think there is.
closed 80%. We're hedged still technically. So personally, I wouldn't try to short this just because of like where we are in session. Though I know like Brian potentially would, because he'll still trade after like 11, 12 Eastern Standard, which is when is London close for you guys? Is it 4 or 5 p.m. GMT?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Do you guys ever trade after 5 p.m.? No, sometimes,
Well,
rarely there's a setup, right?
I bought today at 7 p.m.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so did I.
for FOMC, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna push price to the next day. So guys, that's, I mean, so far we're already up like 110R, and it's been 2 days because we started on the 17th, right? Finishing.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough. Let's try to hit 100%, 200R, like we normally do.
Well, to be honest, this is too. I know. Oh, no, it's not.
It's
Yeah,
110,
it's 50. Yeah, so.
Right, because we're risking 0.5%. It's a pretty good session so far. All right, let's push to Frankfurt Open. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna clear everything. We're gonna do another like daily analysis, the same way we would in a live market. We're always, I mean, I don't always clear my charts because I'm lazy, but always like to mark out what's going on, mark out structure. So we're still in that complex pullback, I'd say, of our current like 15-minute, right? It's our low, that's our high, or you can call this our low, right? Technically in discount of it, 15 minutes. So there's this zone here that we could potentially play off of. I'm expecting that these are gonna get induced, but there is, you know, obviously because we are bearish, right? we could potentially push down. We might react off of this. Another scenario that can play out, we could react off of this guy, right? Because we have inducement here, right? Liquidity sitting above, equal highs, so we could tap into that, or go into the extreme, push down, and then from there, you know, again, we're not going to try and predict too many moves ahead, but either we could blow through that, or then, you know, blow through that, or continue ranging, right? So that's kind of how I'm
to this day. What I'd be saying to myself is, what reaction do we get from here? What reaction do we get from here? If we break these two levels, then you just wait for a pullback and play long.
Fair enough, yeah. That's a good way of looking at it from an intraday perspective, for sure. This is technically mitigated already, this zone here, so I'm not going to mark it. But
let's just see what happens with these two first, and then we can play on.
I agree. Yeah, this is typically why you guys will see, especially in the euro-dollar chat, I'm always posting, and the same with Albert and Aaron too, like to post our stuff. I just mark out any relevant 15-minute zone, and I'll just set alerts at them, and we'll just like try to play it, right? That makes sense. So it looks like there was a risk entry. We actually missed it because I was talking, but I think there was even a, I wouldn't say there was really much of a chalk there, but there was here, so potentially this flip zone would have been a nice short. I don't know, what do you think? Should we rewind for this one? You guys want to do
this would have been like maybe a 5-second entry.
Potentially, yeah.
Reading between the lines like that, broke, get rejected, then pushed through, pulled back in.
I like this one that I marked out, but
you can just take this as well here on the base of the buy to sell.
So let's rewind, let's take that, because I actually think that's potentially a good chalky, and it's a flip zone, right?
It fits the criteria and tapped into our POI, chalked. There's no reason not to hit it. If it takes us out, it takes us out.
I'll give us a bad fill too, just because we kind of missed it. I'll cover the high, 3 pips, whatever. I think what Sam would do in this particular case, I'm just thinking, right? Because he likes his small stops, is he just cover the high. As you get taken out, you get taken out, right? But at least you're not sacrificing a ton of profit. Let's see. Because we didn't actually call it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd do, mate.
Yeah. I'm gonna cover.
I'm just gonna have that, man. Right. Oof.
It's okay. We've now come deeper into, we swept this high, right? It's in the 5 minute. This is swing point. All this liquidity, same thing. Sweeping it, right?
Yeah, this is still.
And there's a chance that this is weak, right? So like we don't know if this is gonna induce into this zone here, right? We'll mark down the booking, so let's see.
I'd look too long.
I personally wouldn't, but where would you look to long on this area?
Because the 5 minutes pushed up, it's like correctively moved down, yeah. Mitigated tank here, it aggressively pushed up. It's come in, mitigated the top of the 5M.
Let's try it.
Because at the end of the day, we've mitigated this down there, so this could continue all the way up to here for all we know. We just have to be aware of this level.
Where do you want to enter though on this? That's the thing, because I don't see much of a 1 minute personally. Like, I mean, I see the 5 minute that you're talking about, right? Like you could have played the top of that.
Oh yeah, and then
huge
there's probably not even an entry here, to be fair. No, there's not. I would have looked for a chalk.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, at this point I wouldn't be looking to short off of that 15 anymore. It's not failed, right? We close above. We just closed above on the 5 minute too. So
Yeah. I'd be looking for sales again now.
yeah, now that we tapped in this. So let's see. Hold on. Let's actually break down because it's kind of covered by my my thing here. I want to break this down a bit and see. We didn't quite tap into this 5 minute. Right, you see how there's like. Oh, but we did tap into the last buy before sell, to be fair. Almost into the last, well, I guess the engulfed candle. So, okay, let's see. Maybe we can take a short. I'm expecting that it's probably going to sweep a little bit higher, though. Like, for me, it doesn't fit my plan as much. But Aaron, what do you think? Do you want to try and short off of this? You're inducing for it too, right?
No, I wouldn't short yet. I wouldn't short yet.
You want it to pull deeper too, right? Pull.
Just yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, there you go. That I see. Now I like that because we've now swept all of this, right?
Yeah, because it correctively moved back into the 1M demand.
Yeah, it's kind of sorting itself out.
Yeah, probably now and.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. We got kind of got equalize here.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of turning me off of it, but I get why you want to enter this, right? This flip zone, this demand, reaction, failure, right? So let's try it. It's okay, we get swept, not a big deal. There's the off chance that it works too. Oh, it's playing. Might induce into the extreme, which is also equalized. We gotta be careful. Oh, I think we're good. Let's see. Oh, almost got risk free. There we go. And now we're risk free. There we go. So that's a good trade. We're running like pretty much 5R on that.
Yeah, first target be 15-minute lows.
Here, right?
Yeah.
I got some weak lows here for sure. All that liquidity. Just gonna see, is there anything?
I get scaling now.
Alright, let's see. That's good that we're in agreement about like it obviously pulling deep enough into the zone, right? I think sometimes I'll see this in the Euro Dollar chat in live session. A lot of you guys will not a lot of you, but sometimes I see people try to enter something that's barely tapped into one of the zones, right? So that's why I always try to like look on the 5 and 1 as well and see like did it tap into like a nested zone of supplier demand within that like larger 15-minute. It's something to be aware of, right? Had we shorted that prematurely, like obviously we would have got swept, right? And that happens sometimes too, but just a small nugget for you guys.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take the loss though in order to catch the actual trade.
Yeah.
As long as your mindset's there and you take the next trade, you'll be alright. Yeah. We all take a lot of hits, but it's just about making sure you take the next trade, otherwise you're not letting your edge play out.
Exactly. Yeah, like this week, like personally in live, like I've taken a good chunk of losses, but still positive. Like, I think I've taken like 6 losses this week and 2 wins, but like on net over 10R still. So still got more of the week to play, but we'll try to push it to 20R, 30R, whatever. Try and catch a nice trade. But this is a good trade, Aaron, I think. For scale-ins, I guess there are some areas, like you could have played this one here.
It's all a bit aggressive. Yeah, it's fine just having the one, to be honest. We played from what we perceive to be the extreme.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for this, I'd probably look to take 80% off, right?
It's a bit push down. Yeah, I'd take a large chunk off personally.
Yeah, let's do it. Take 80% off, and we're still holding our other shorts too, so it's pretty good. Remember, we might still be building liquidity for this 4-hour zone here, right? Even though it's against expectational order flow. I mean, really, I expect that this low is gonna get taken, but it's not to say it won't produce a reaction first either, right?
Can draw a horizontal line across the first 4-hour low that we're coming into, like this, the 15-minute structure low, sorry. Yeah, that one.
So, mark it?
No, horizontal line, just so we know once it gets swept.
Which one?
So you meant me mark it?
Yeah, can you mark it and I'll mark it with the tool? Oh, that one. Okay, gotcha. Use this tool. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's like cyan.
Because just below that low line, you got all them wicks on the 4-hour still.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like, that's really clear equal lows, right? You guys see that? Even this wick here. 4 hour. And I think we're gonna come into Fed announcement. Okay. For me, Aaron, personally, again, with this being a news event, like I'd probably just close like 15 minutes before.
No.
But okay, we'll leave it open for you.
Yeah, fuck that shit, man. Leave it open.
Leave it open. Okay.
Aaron says it's right. It's right.
No, maybe I'll. We'll see. One day, I'll learn how to trade these news events with you guys. But for me personally, just the way I've been taught, like I never like playing news.
Yes, we have no emotions, you know.
Yeah, literally none.
Sometimes there's emotions. Don't get me wrong. Get a bit annoyed. Punch a desk, walk off. That's usually due to silly errors.
Silly errors. Yep. Aaron, quick question. This is kind of unrelated to the backtesting session, but how many pumps of caramel do you like in your coffee?
I just go into Costa and say, "Can I have some sugar-free caramel, please?"
Like the whole bottle?
Nah, they put loads in there. To be fair, it's well nice.
I just imagine you wake up in the morning and for breakfast, like 4 pumps to the mouth.
Sam, why aren't you asking Rob to take a bite?
What? Sorry, I'm not really paying attention.
Never paying attention. He's preparing a Sunday roast on Wednesday.
Buy? Yeah, buy it.
All right.
Yeah, fucking right, buy it. Yeah, buy it.
Like this?
Yeah, buy that. Yeah, 100%. Look at it. It's perfect price action. I would. Hold on, wait. Where's the?
Where do you want to cover though?
Is this the 15-second or what?
Yeah. How do you not know that?
Where's the 1 minute?
An hour and a half.
Yeah. You haven't got the 5 second, have you?
I can get it.
It's gonna get duppied, mate.
Just let it play out a little bit. Yeah, no, keep this in, but like buy it here. Just yeah, so buy it there. Oh wait, no, wait, hold on. Is that the 1 minute? That's like the 1 minute EQ. Yeah, buy that.
Alright. Buy that.
What time is it?
It's time to get a watch, buddy. No, it's New York. Look, we're an hour into New York.
Black.
Oh no, that's the 15-minute. I thought that was 4 hours. No,
it's the 15 second.
No, that's definitely gonna get. Yeah, keep on. Did we get in?
No.
Oh mate, what?
I wanted to hit market on it, but
no, it's gonna get.
It might. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no,
take a nice L on that.
Down,
I figured, right? Because something that Aaron said, there's too much liquidity.
Yeah. Aaron, stop telling me to do things, man. Like, I'll always build a case. If Aaron says do something, I'll be like, yeah, fine, let's do it. Let's build a case.
We're floating like 20R right now in our open.
Yeah.
130 total.
Closed like 80% of my short.
I already did earlier.
Oh. Okay.
We'll just hold it. We're running 20 on all of our cells right now.
We're coming to the end of Friday.
We could, let's take partials on. We'll take 50% off of the rest of these. Like, might as well pay ourselves a little bit, right? Because
we're running to the end of the week.
20
just take all your money at the end of the week, and then again splash it on poker at the weekend, like Sam does.
Well, this is actually a Friday too.
Oh, so put a dog.
Should play poker. I like poker. It's a fun game. Texas Hold'em, right? You guys don't play regular. Like, what do Brits play? Do you guys play?
Yeah, Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, okay.
Texas Hold'em. You can get like a room at like Poker Stars or something, no?
Yeah, I do that with my friends sometimes. I usually just bully them into giving me their chips. So we should try that. Maybe we'll live stream it for everybody.
Yeah, Jonathan, we can all stick in like a 5 or a 10 or something, mate.
Yeah. You gotta do that. We'll do it on a Sunday or something. We should have a phantom-wide poker tournament one day.
Yeah, we should.
It'll probably be pretty difficult to set up, but what do you guys think of that?
10 grand buy-in.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea.
Will probably be a pretty big pot, right? If we get enough people to buy in it, like.
Yeah, it'd be massive.
I don't know if.
Even if you
gotta consult Phantom. I don't know if we can do that with money and stuff. I'm sure we can. I don't know if there's like some like legal implication there, but I think if you run it through if you run a big tournament through PokerStars, I mean, it's legal, right?
No, we're coming up to the end of the week on Friday, Rob. If this was me in live, I'd just close everything.
Alright, closed.
I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do another day, so...
No worries. I'll do one more day with you guys. Sam, if you want to stick around, you're welcome to. But just so we get the full 2 hours. I think this is a pretty good session, guys. I mean, we did, like, again, 3 days. We made... So far, we've made 130R. Let's do one more day. Rob,
yeah, I'm gonna head off now. I've gotta go.
No worries, no worries. Have a good night, guys.
Catch you later, man.
See you later, guys.
So yeah, again, if you guys want to unmute yourselves, remember this push to talk on. So whatever your push to talk key is, you gotta hold that while you talk. Welcome to ask questions. I'll open up in the last 15 minutes for that. But we'll still try to. We'll do one more day here. We started a little bit late too, so I'll go a little bit over for you guys. I'll do another 20 minutes. Or you can DM me questions, honestly, because we don't have a chat. Oh, unless we talk in, let's see, is there a channel that we can talk in? If you guys have questions, ask me in general. Normally we got people who ask questions in the Zoom. Don't really have that functionality today, but okay, kind of missed Frankfurt Open on that. But let's see. So I'm gonna clear everything again, like we always do. Do our daily analysis. Still within this 4-hour zone or 4-hour complex pullback, right? Got liquidity sitting here. Potentially might come pop up into this guy. But what I'm thinking is, what's most likely to happen is you're gonna pop into this because we've built more liquidity, right? So we might induce into that. We've built 15-minute liquidity, and let's do our 15-minute structure with the annotation tool on this too. See, some people are typing in the general chat. Again, if you got questions, feel free to ask in there. I'm surprised nobody's asking questions this session, but please do ask questions because I'm always happy to answer them in there. So 15-minute structure again. Technically we broke below this and closed below this low, right? This was our previous high and low, or you could call it this, right? Which define this as our high, right? I mean, if you looked at it that way. The way that I'm looking at it now though, technically you can look at it like this. This didn't really close high above this high for me. So I guess what I'm going to look at for this, at least, we can look at it two ways. I'm going to give you like the two ways that potentially you could mark it up. Either you define this as your high, or this is your high, right? And then this is our current low. So within that, either we're looking at this or this as our current leg. That's EQ of that, and then rough EQ of this larger 15-minute zone that we're in. So I would still potentially look for shorts here. That being said, I would want it to pull up probably higher into this. And then ideally what I want to see is these lows break into this 4-hour zone here. Yeah. So say it's, so Bosch Junka is asking, like the name, by the way.
Tienes que te portar mejor igual.
Mute whoever's talking here.
Y no vas a ver la película de Mario 16.
Miguel, I gotta mute you. Sorry, man. Making too much noise. So you're saying... Oh, I think these guys are having a conversation outside of the, outside of the backtesting session. That's fine. I thought he was asking me a question. But anyway, so yeah, I'm hoping that we pop down into this. So let's see if we do that. We're also at London Open, potentially. we can look to take a trade to catch the momentum here, right? We don't necessarily have to be in a zone. I mean, we kind of are in this one. Again, the problem with like longing this is obviously we have so much liquidity sitting below it. I don't expect it to hold, but potentially we can try to take maybe a short into that lower area. I mean, price is just kind of ranging here, so I'm gonna wait a little bit. Okay. Zoom into the 15-minute a bit. There is this zone here we might have just induced into, right? We have liquidity sitting here. I tapped into it. Also equal highs in a way, so gotta be careful. Yeah, I think that's gonna break up higher, yeah. And we also have equals here. I don't think this one will hold either, but let's see. Again, I want to try and play the reaction off of this, right? So I think Aaron may have tried to take a long off of this in this area. For me, again, because we have equal lows sitting here, it's not something I'm interested in like risking, like putting my funds up on, right? Almost looks like we're just filling this gap here. So another zone potentially. Let's see if we get maybe a chalk off of that. Because really we could look at this as, again, an inducement of, it's basically liquidity that's inducing this area, right? So we get a little bit of a 15-minute chalky poo. Push lower. Okay, so I mean, ideally I want to see at least these wicks get run, but if we're being pretty aggressive, we can maybe look to take this extreme. Not the worst idea. So I'm gonna set a limit here. Yeah, again, I apologize for the quality, guys. I know obviously because we're on Discord, it's only 1080p. Good news is though, this is being recorded, so we will definitely get this uploaded in 4K for you guys. Looks like we just got swept by a tick on that one. Oh, price is just ranging. Let's see if we can re-enter it. Okay, for this one, we're gonna take another Aaron type trade here. So you guys can see this is a flip zone on the 15 second. We also technically got a chalk, right? Because we swept this high here on the 1 minute. Then closed below these lows here, right? Technically still substructure, but like enough for a chalk to be defined, at least for me. So what I'm gonna do, and again, we have equal highs here too, so potentially we might get swept. Might take a few L's on this, and that's okay. That's the name of the game. It's all probabilistic, right? We're kind of inducing here. We're in London lull. Let's see if it taps us in and then goes. Yeah, I think we built equal highs there. Still not too late to tap us. We're building our equals. We're in. Oh, it just taps us out. So it looks like we got swept even further. At this point, yeah, I don't think this one's gonna hold anymore. That's okay. It was worth the risk, I think, on that one. It wasn't the worst trade idea. And the only issue with it is obviously, I think, if we're marking out, again, 15-minute structure like this, okay, we were at equilibrium on that one. So actually, no, I think we're fine on that. Wasn't the worst trade. Only issue was this liquidity sitting above here. So that's probably gonna get taken. And it's gonna induce one of these zones up here. Probably this 15 minute.
Hello?
It's a flip zone. Hey, what's up? Got a question?
Yeah. When would I be looking for a 15-minute chop, and when would I be looking for a 1-minute chop?
So
in a POI.
Yeah, it's a good question. Typically, so I'll start with the 1 minute. The reason what I'll typically look for if I'm looking for a 1 minute chalk is I want to make sure that we're in a relatively like higher probability 15-minute zone. Even on the 4 hour, like potentially I would look for a chalk if we're in like a nice 4 hour zone. That's like maybe a trap and like we're retesting it. For 15-minute changes of character, I'll be honest, I don't really look for it as much, but it is something you can look for. And same with the 5 minute. I know a lot of you guys look for it. Anytime you see a change of character within like a higher time frame zone, I guess what I would probably look for is if you're in a 4-hour zone and you see a 15 or 5-minute change of character, that's like usually when I'm going to start looking for it, just like I'd look for a 1-minute change of character in a 15-minute zone. So I'm going to be looking on the higher relative time frame for a zone of supply or demand, and then I'll look for the chalk within that. And then again, you can even like refine it down into a 1-minute or even the 15-second chalk, right? Once you've seen the 5-minute and or 15-minute chalk within your 4-hour. So you can kind of string them all together like that, and then you kind of just, again, you're stacking, like as I mentioned on the last backtesting call, right? We're stacking confluences together, and the more that we have, kind of the higher probability that trade idea might work out, right? And even if it doesn't, we know that's a high probability trade, and we're good with taking an L or the win on it, right? So that's gonna sweep. I think, yeah, really. Yeah, does that make sense? Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, answers my question. Thank you.
Perfect. Again, because price is fractal, like you can almost like anytime I see a chalk, right, change of character, and I'll mark it out for you guys because this is probably the most commonly asked question that we get in the Discord, right? For those of you that don't know what a change of character is, maybe you're new to Phantom. Maybe you're in here and you just haven't been paying attention. What is a change of character, right? So say we're kind of doing something like this, right? And we build like some sort of liquidity. We sweep that liquidity, right? And then we break one or more lows, right? So that's in a bearish scenario. So there's our sweep, and then we're breaking lower, right? And then we would look either to take something off of one of these two zones. And then in a bullish scenario, give you another example of a chalk. And again, you can apply this, pretend this is a 15-minute, a 5-minute, a 1-minute, even a 15-second, right? In a bearish scenario, same thing, right? We were building liquidity. It could even just be structural liquidity like this that we're sweeping, right? And then we're breaking this, right? And then we can look, maybe we have a rally-based rally. We have a decisional zone that we can play off of, which was also a flip zone, right? Maybe this is a whole candle, right? Or the extreme that we can play off of. And then you pair that with session timing. Oh, this is London Open, great. Set a limit there, and then let it do its thing. Maybe it'll retest it. We hit 4R, take off 20% at 4R, right? We cover our downside risk. We can leave our risk open. So in the event that it comes back down to this, retest it, we're still in the position. We've covered our risk minus like commission, and then even though it tests us a few times, push up. So that's that. That's what a chalk is. That's pretty much what we're looking for every time we're trying to enter something, right?
A clock?
Yep. Change your character.
Clock?
Chalk. Damn, we gotta keep it PG, man. Come on. Dan, you want to try and call some trades on this one? It looks like we just swept this high too. So now, look at this. Another Fed meeting. What's with all these Fed meetings? Okay, for me, we're kind of ranging here. Didn't really come deep enough into it, but we could try to short maybe one of these zones here. You guys see how we have a change of character? Be pretty aggressive because we didn't go that deep into it. We're like maybe hit 20% of this 15-minute like zone here. But yeah, I think we can maybe take this. We're kind of getting like a series of mitigations in the 15-second. I'll zoom in on the 1 minute too. I mean, it's not as clear, but what's that? Try and take something like that. Let's see if that works. I have a feeling this is probably going to get swept. Maybe we can get risk-free on it though. It's testing it a few times, yeah. There we go. Okay, we're risk-free on it. It's a pretty good entry. Does that make sense why I entered that? What do you guys think? Close
Not for me.
It is an aggressive trade, right? But where are we, right? Look at session timing too. Right at New York, an hour into New York Open. To be fair, might not work. Like we're also like in the midst of high impact news, Fed chair Powell speaking, so we might get swept, but I'm trying to play the New York reversal on this. We are in the premium of this 15-minute leg. We're bearish overall in the 4 hour, right? So it's not the worst trade. We'll go for another 10 minutes. There you go. Starting to really sell off here. I think for me, I'm going to look to take partials on this 15-minute zone. If we come back down, kind of playing around here. It really looks like it's struggling to push up. We're pretty corrective on the upside. Might have been a scale in on the 1 minute, but I'm not going to try to scale in too much on this. We'll just take this one trade. Again, I want to thank Sean, the sweep, for sticking with us for the full 2 hours here, restreaming the stream so that everybody can watch. Appreciate that, Sean.
Pleasure.
We're still risk-free on this. We're kind of holding through it. This would be a hard thing to hold through for sure. But again, the way that I'm managing it, I want to see it come tap into this. I mean, technically we tapped into the range in this 15-minute/5-minute, right? So ultimately, we might get swept here. We're building a lot of liquidity. Yeah, it's okay. Take a BE on that one. Now we're starting to push up higher. Remember, we also have this liquidity sitting above, so we don't know what's going to happen, right? Swept it. Swept that 15-minute structural liquidity. Technically, we didn't close above it yet either. Though, depending on how you're looking at structure, right? If you're looking at this as, you know, this was your complex pullback and we broke above it, define this as our low, and then that broke that structural point, right? You could define this as our low. We're technically bullish, but then also, you know, if we're looking at structure in this sense, where we're looking at this whole leg as a 15-minute bearish push down, and this is all complex pullback, we've really only swept the high, so we could potentially look for shorts there too, right? So I'm just kind of considering every like scenario that could play out here, so we can try to catch something. But this is one of those like offbeat days. Oh, it's a Monday. That actually explains it. So just like I said earlier, right? Like usually it's midweek we like pull some pretty heavy numbers, but then usually on a Monday or a Friday, we're looking to just do an intraday scalp, right? Ideally, we would have actually longed this, but again, what kept me out of it is the fact that we have all of this liquidity sitting here above this 4-hour zone. So I didn't want to get swept. It's okay. Price doesn't have to tap into it right away. It's still building liquidity for it, right? We're pretty late in the session. So let's do one more day. I'm going to push to the next day. See what price does. There's Asia session, kind of ranging. Let's go to Frankfurt Open. So here's 15 minutes before Frankfurt Open. Again, there's two ways that you can look at this, right? We have liquidity on the 15-minute, right? We swept. We didn't necessarily break any structural point yet, but this is still technically a bull trap. The other way that we can look at it, again, is if we're looking at structure like this. This is our 15-minute bullish leg. Then technically we're in a complex pullback within this range, right? This 15-minute leg. So we're bullish. So we're bullish and bearish. Price is pretty conflicting here, but I'm going to see if we can try and catch something, maybe again in London Open. Won't necessarily try to take a Frankfurt risk entry, but if I were going to, maybe it'd be off of one of these, right? In premium, that's mitigated. That's mitigated, right? And then if I was trying to take a long, I'd probably look for this, because we might induce into that. Oh, actually, we've tapped into it already. But we didn't really tap that deep into it, so potentially we might sweep that, right? And then we can look for a long. So let's see. We're Tuesday now, so once we tap into one of these zones, I'm going to start looking for that change of character again, right? This will be the last day, and we'll wrap it up, because getting a little bit late here. I think for some of you, my London clock says 9 p.m. It's like 4 p.m. here for me. So there we go. We've actually swept liquidity into this 15-minute zone, and we came pretty much deep enough in it for me. In terms of, let's see, in terms of flip zones, like technically we mitigated this range, produced the reaction, popped down, broke below that low. So a couple areas we can look, well, really just one area we can look at, right? Because this looks mitigated on the 15 second. Again, this is why I like looking at the 15 second. It gives us like another, like more definition. It's basically a higher definition version of the 1 minute, right? So I'm gonna try to short off of that. Let's see, because again, my bias, I don't really have a bias, right? I have a reason to short and long technically, and this trade location isn't the worst, right? We're technically in equilibrium, we're in premium of this 15-minute leg. So yeah, let's see if this one works. Cover the high, 2.5 pips, and we'll see if we can get risk-free on it. Oh man, there's Frankfurt open, so we just missed it. It's okay. So let's see, where else could we have entered on this? Looks like we really got our change of character till here, right? I'm just gonna rewind here on this because I'm just thinking like I put myself in Aaron's shoes, right? Where would this guy short? Probably in and around this area. I'm gonna slow down price a bit so we can actually observe it. But it might have been a no tag anyways, right? So let's see. Play it forward a bit. So I think this is the reason that Aaron typically likes taking like full 1 minute candles or 1 minute wicks, because sometimes on the 15 second, it's not gonna come all the way back and necessarily like fully mitigate, you know, the candles. So let's try this. I can't remember if this is where I set it previously, but let's see. That's enough of a change of character for me on that. And same with this, right? Like we have a flip zone on this wick here, or on this candle. So let's see if it taps us in on that. No, I guess not. So I don't think there is a tagging on that one. That's okay. We just kind of fall. Unless you were to take like the whole wick here. So actually let's do that. You see what I mean by the whole wick, right? Rewind it again. So rather than just taking, again, this is the 15 second, the problem with the 15 seconds sometimes, it's not going to tap into this, it's going to tap into this whole range like that. So play it forward, right? Technically, tapping to that, you just sell market off of it. Or you could always do, you know, the 30 second, which is these two 15 second candles, right? And then you'd be in. And so we're in, we're risk-free, right? That's how I'd approach that. 4R, 20% off, and then you have yourself a beautiful Frankfurt open. And then here, honestly, I'd look to take maybe another like 25% off because we're at another 15-minute zone, right? The one that we previously talked about. But I mean, that's pretty bearish. Maybe look for like a hedge long too. Gonna swap that. I do think this is gonna just completely fall off though. Let's see. It's not a bad short. That'd be a very difficult short though, to be fair, to try and catch that. So as a Frankfurt open trade. And I mean, honestly, this is why I advocate sometimes just using market execution. Whether you have the 15-second chart or not, you can get it for free from Alanda. Or in my case, like I don't even have it on TradingView because I can't be bothered to upgrade. But what I do instead is on my MT4, I use that expert advisor that I've posted in, I think, the Eurodollar chat or resources. You can go look for it. It's an expert advisor that basically pulls from the 1 minute and prints a candle every 15 seconds. So you can do that, and you can even use like your magic keys or whatever trade manager with it, because actually I'm just gonna close this out, because technically it's just kind of running through that expert advisor and then opening another window so you can have like that 15-second chart, right? And I just trade off of that. And then if you have C-Trader, same thing, you can use the tick chart, right? So there's a lot of like, I would say, opportunities to use the 15-second if you don't have it. So and you don't even have to pay money for it, right? Or you pay for like the highest level of TradingView, and you can actually study 15-second price action, stuff like that. Anyways, I want to thank everybody again for joining us today for the backtesting call. Again, I apologize to those of you who joined the Zoom, maybe didn't make it to this, but luckily we have a few people that restreamed it through Discord. in the future, what we'll probably do is once we can sort it out, we're either going to run it again through Zoom or through Kajabi or another platform, so that way we don't have leakers joining the Zoom call and potentially trolling it. Because I know this is an issue that that Sam and Albert were kind of having on their previous call. And but yeah, again, I appreciate you guys, and
I love you, Robert.
Yeah, we'll do another session in a couple weeks. Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, and smash those markets.
Love you, baby.
Later, Dan. Love you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
No worries, no worries. Recording will be up within the next couple days. Okay, we're gonna delay it a little bit on this one so it doesn't get leaked so quick. Later, guys.
Later.